Rotary.
And rise.
Did I not ring that loud enough?
All over this at some point.
You hear a different voice and then you say, well, who's that? Well, welcome Gateway Rotary and friends. Are we here excited for a Wednesday morning? Let's get this started off right. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Martin McElliott, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir?
Sure. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join me and salute our nation's flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And you're in the front.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like to lead us in the four-way test, please?
Yes. Fellow Rotarians, please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And fifth.
Is it fun?
Woo!
All right. As I introduce some folks here, we've got somebody of great significance. It is my due honor, and I would like to introduce that we have our own district governor right here. Mr. District Governor. This is a great privilege for us to have our district governor here today. So anybody would like to go over, talk to him afterwards, talk about how great job that we're doing up here, please make sure you know. My name's Les Bosher, if you'd like to tell him how great a job I'm doing. We do have some other guests here as well. First, for visiting Rotarians. Let's see if I can read this name. Willard McGregor. Willard McGregor from Lacey. And he's also our assistant governor. We have John Tunans here from West Oley. John, where are you? Hey, John. And I'm going to cost him $1. If you haven't been to Freshies on the west side, you might want to try that out at some point. And we have Marty Obendorf from South Puget Sound. Marty's here. Great. Well, fantastic. We also have some guests. So, Lori Carroll, would you like to introduce your guest, please?
Yes, my guest is Peggy Williams for the second time. She's from the Green Realty Group, and so warm welcome for Peggy, please.
Welcome, Peggy. Thank you. Are there any other guests or visiting Rotarians that didn't get a chance to sign up? All right, we'll move right on into the next part. So I was going to have Len Fosher introduced to make a couple announcements, but since he's already up here, I might as well do this. So let's hear it for Len. Okay. A couple things that are coming up I want to make sure are on your calendars. So first and foremost, we have, and I'd like to thank and credit Crystal Zavala. Let's hear it for Crystal real quick. Crystal's been setting up our social, doing a great job doing so, and we're happy to have that. So our February social will be on February 7th. That's again the first Thursday of every month, from 4 to 6:30, and this one will be at Puget Sound Taps, right across the street. So make sure you put that on your calendar. And then for March, well, we're going to be celebrating a birthday party. We're going to have beer and a cake. So to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday. It's going to be part of a book drive. We're going to be trying to do part of our literacy commitment. We want to thank and credit our literacy chair, Lori, for that. Lori. Lori. So this is where this requirement is. March 7th, 4 to 6:30. It'll be at Top Rung. We're going to be having, as I said, a cake there. But also make sure you bring a book, a children's book, preferably a Dr. Seuss book if you can. So that would be, that's what we're going to do to give credit to Dr. Seuss and have a good birthday celebration. So that's March 7th. It's on your calendars. Next one I wanted to point out, and I talked about it, March 28th at 5:30 at Hotel RL is going to be the Paul Harris Award dinner. We have a lot of folks that are going to get recognition, and we want to make sure that our group and our club is fully present. So again, March 28th. Please go to the district website and sign up. I know I've sent out that link before. I don't know if the early bird special that ended on January 1st is still open. I know it was after January 1st, but it may have closed by now. We'll see. And to talk about the district conference that's coming out, I would like to introduce our very own district governor, Greg.
Yeah, he's very governor. Thank you, sir. Well, good morning, and whenever you give me a mic, I add in a few things. And the first thing I want to tell you that is so incredibly exciting is in my travels to visit the 90 clubs, I had to teach Canadians how to pronounce words like squim, Pulsbo, Puyallup. Nice. Guess what? Now I'm teaching you as Americans how to say you clueless. Let's hear it. You clueless. About 2 weeks ago, we chartered our 91st club in the district. Wow. In the little village of Ucluelet, population of 1,600, and they have chartered 42 members. Nice. Unbelievable. And that makes our assistant Rotary coordinator, Tom Carroll, incredibly happy because his raison d'etre is to increase our membership because we're all working, as you know, to bring more hands and more hearts into the family of Rotary. So if you ever are on Vancouver Island, come for the journey. It's a long trip. You drive up from Victoria for 2 hours, and then you drive from Qualicum in for 2 hours. It's about a 4-hour trip.
You can't miss it. Wow. I didn't even know Tom liked raisins.
Second thing that I wanted to tell you is that we're very excited about the lineup we have for this year's combined district training assembly and conference that's being held in beautiful Victoria. It's easy for you to get there because you don't even need to take a vehicle once you get to Port Angeles. You can just park on that side, walk in onto the ferry, and the hotel is just across. Our very own trainer is here today, Marnie Obendorf. We just had a wonderful meeting last night trying to create some really important sessions, and it's a wonderful way to build an understanding of the larger world of Rotary, and at the same time make connections with and celebrate what we hope will have been an amazing year. So we're hoping that May 9th, 10th, and 11th, we used to have a district training and conference as separate events. Why did we combine them? It's very simple. We felt that it was more economically feasible for people to just make one trip to an event in the year. Less travel, less hotel costs, less registration. So really we're just doing it in a one weekend, and we're hoping that as many people. My greatest fear is that I am going to get there and I'm going to be the only person at the district training and conference. So make me happy, and please register.
And Marnie's coming.
Oh, Marnie's going to be there. Okay.
That's even more personal.
So the real reason for me being here today is to, in the role of district governor, acknowledge the remarkable contribution of the amazing Gateway Rotary Club. Last year, you were our #1 per capita giving foundation club in the entire district of 90 clubs. Well over $600 per capita, and we are continuing to really work at building our contributions to foundation. Why? Because those are the dollars that help seed our district and global projects. And if we don't give to the annual fund each year, if we don't give to Polio Plus, we aren't able to inoculate children, we aren't able to build the cisterns, to build the clean water projects, to help child and maternal health. So at this point, it gives me great pleasure to call upon the amazing Nate! Amazing Nate the Great! Okay, so on behalf of our district and the trustees of the Rotary Foundation, it says here, #1 club in district.
Yeah.
I have spoken to the assistant coordinator, Tom Carroll, to ask him if we could have larger banners next year. He's working on it, so congratulations. back to the amazing Len.
Thank you. Let's hear it for our Mr. Governor, Rick Lewis. This mic is killing me today. Nate, did you have an announcement this morning?
Nate.
All right.
Nate, we have to have a redo. If my comb over wasn't, the flash didn't go.
Okay, so I want everybody to go back about, we're gonna hit the rewind button and we're gonna play it again. Here we go.
Look convincing.
Rip and grin.
Okay, here we go.
There it is.
Did it go?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Okay.
Did you get my banner?
All right.
Nice.
And here's Nate.
Yay, Nate. So guys, this is a great award to be receiving for this past year. So moving forward this year, we need to continue keeping up the good work and contribute to the Rotary International Foundation. Ways that we're helping do that, some of you have this blue sticker on your name tag. The exciting thing is that this name tag is, these stickers are a way for us to recognize people who are sustaining members of the Rotary Foundation, which is $100 per year. So if you would like a blue sticker, please let us in the room. This is how you do it. Second thing, moving forward in the future, we'll be doing a Rotary Foundation apparel fundraiser. So next week, I will present one option for women and one option for men. And you will be able to, for $50, purchase this apparel item. It'll say Gateway Rotary on it. $25 of your apparel purchase will go toward the foundation in your name, which means that we will start getting 100% foundation giving, which is our big push here for this year. So, more to come in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it. Are there any other announcements that I have not been made aware of from the board? Any other announcements? Perfect. Then we will move into our program. Thank you. I do not see that we have, unfortunately, we don't have a classification talk today. For those that do not know, classification talk is a great opportunity for us to understand and learn more about new members and new folks, and to get a better feeling for especially the new people that are joining our club. We've had a great membership drive, thanks to Madeline. I want to give a shout out to Madeline for that. And I do see a hand up with somebody who'd like to speak. So, former District Governor Tom Caroline.
That was kind of a tepid applause. So Nate, come back here, Nate. So Nate forgot one thing. So we have an event a little bit later today.
Oh, yes. I was going to make an announcement after.
No, now.
Oh, yes.
I'll just work this back here. Go ahead.
Too early for this kind of.
Is that Jeff Dunham?
So we're moving on. So later today is our first St. Martin's Young Professionals Rotaract meeting. Here, I will say our official paperwork is being started this afternoon. So
I will be there to see that.
okay, awesome. So it'll be happening. But with Rotaract it's a form of Rotary where it's typically professionals from the age of 18 to 30, and they meet on campus of a university or their community base where anyone can join. So the exciting thing at St. Martin's is this is a new type of Rotaract where it's only St. Martin's staff and faculty. Everyone's welcome to join, but information and topics are geared to our professionals under the age of 35. And along with that, there will be free food, and then I'll also have some drinks back there. All of our Rotarians are able to join. Gateway Rotary is a sponsored club of this Rotaract, and so what that means is our club will be the speaker pipeline. So today is Twin Star Credit Union is presenting on building a financial future. Kareem will be able to join us this afternoon, but some people from Twin Star that are awesome. Many of you probably know Alexis will be there. And so that will be happening today. And then next month, we're looking at a few other topics. So if you guys would like to join us, I sent an email out last week with the campus map. It's from 3:30 to 4:30 this afternoon in Hardin Hall 110. You can park on campus. Let me know if you get a ticket. I'll follow up on it. We're good. So if you have any questions, please follow up with me. It was great to hear from a couple people last week from my email that you're coming to attend. So looking forward to seeing you guys there. And thank you.
Good morning. So it is my pleasure to be able to introduce our guest speaker this morning. Our guest speaker is Amy Rowley. She's the founder and executive director of the MayDay Foundation. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization here based in Olympia. A breast cancer diagnosis at age 42 woke her up to the financial challenges facing parents coping with cancer while raising kids at home. So, a serial entrepreneur, she built the organization to make an impact locally. Amy is a mom, wife, daughter, sister, and friend who relies on her tribe for critical thinking, bright ideas, and smiles. She holds an MBA from Northeastern University in Boston and a BA, Boston, all right, and a BA from the University of Washington. Please join me in welcoming Amy.
Thank you for having me. Some of you may also know me as Martin McElliott's business partner, past, future, present. So again, thank you for having me today. I'm curious, show of hands, how many of you have been impacted by cancer, either personally or because of a loved one? Yeah, it's pretty prevalent. So what I'm here today to talk to you about is the MayDay Foundation. As mentioned, it is a local nonprofit organization. Jerry's going to help me with my technical difficulties. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in April of 2017. While I went through chemo, surgery, and radiation, my husband and I had everything going for us. We had flexible employment, we had money saved up to pay our medical bills, grandparents around to assist with childcare, and it was still extremely difficult. And what I learned is that I was not alone in some of these challenges. Behind me is a picture of myself with a team of oncology nurses at Providence Regional Cancer System in Lacey. These women helped me to formulate some of my ideas regarding how the MayDay Foundation would assist local families. The foundation was launched in January of 2018. At the time I started it, similar to how Martin and I have started businesses in the past, I had no money, I had no social media following, I didn't even have any families to help, so I had zero of everything. But I had an idea. My idea was to help families with household expenses such as rent, utilities, gas, and groceries while a parent was coping with cancer and raising kids at home. And the goal was to free up money so that they could pay their medical bills, therefore avoiding bankruptcy and ultimately homelessness. So even with starting other businesses, I knew that I couldn't do it myself. I surrounded myself with a talented team of board of directors. I also had professional colleagues I could rely on for legal help and website development. I tackled all those crazy IRS forms, and I hustled donors. As a result of kind of formulating all of these ideas, I came up with a mission. So the MayDay Foundation's mission is to provide immediate practical support to parents raising kids at home and coping with a cancer diagnosis. And despite all of this assistance and help, it's still a very scary experience. So here are a few adjectives that families would use to describe how they're feeling about their financial situation prior to learning about the support from the MayDay Foundation. And this is taken directly from families that have been assisted in the past year. As you can see, the adjectives that have no responses, such as prepared, hopeful, confident, fearless, those are adjectives that no one was using to describe how they were feeling about their financial situation. So what did we accomplish in 2018? I set out with a goal to help 3 families and to raise $15,000. By the end of the year, I'd helped 14 families, 13 here in Thurston County and 1 family down in Grace River, and raised over $100,000 from our local community. Over half of the funds that are distributed are paid for housing expenses, including rent and mortgage, and those are paid directly to landlords and mortgage companies. 85% of the parents that we were helped had never received financial assistance before, and they also held medical insurance from an employer. So these are people just like all of us. They were making ends meet, things were going just fine, and the cancer diagnosis resulted in a loss of income and it completely derailed their family. But I think what I'm most proud about is that 100% of the families that were assisted last year stayed in their own homes and avoided bankruptcy. And that to me is what this is all about. I'm also pleased to report that over 150 people donated to the MayDay Foundation last year. And I think that's an important note because we don't have one big massive donor that I'm relying on. It's a lot of smaller, $100 here, $200 here that have made a real difference. In 2018, as I mentioned, over half of the funds were paid to landlords and mortgage holders, and the remainder of the funds went to utility companies and also in the form of gas and grocery gift cards, and those were given directly to the families. Last year, our average family used about $2,600 in support. So as you can see, it's not, it's a small amount of money that's making a big impact for local families. Make sure I'm on the right screen here. So despite all of this, I knew I could fail. I knew I might not get tax exempt status. I knew donors would say no periodically. I knew it would be hard, but so is cancer. And failing at starting the MayDay Foundation meant more to me than doing nothing. And it's families like this family with that quote up there that have really helped spur me on and continue growing the MayDay Foundation. So at the end of this year, I asked our families a lot of questions, and one of the questions I asked is what they plan on doing now that, as they start to heal and feel better. And so as you can see, I think it's probably 60% or so plan to return to the same job that they held prior to their cancer diagnosis. They're going back to work. About a third are staying home, either because they were already stay-at-home parents or because their cancer is disabled them to the point they can't return to work. And then the other person, unfortunately, has a terminal illness. So looking into 2019, and part of why I wanted to come and share this exciting news with you, is that I'm going to be continuing to grow on the MayDay Foundation's success that we had last year. I have a fantastic partner with Providence. Is anyone from Providence here today? If you have a chance to thank anyone who works for Providence or is on the Providence Foundation board, they're an incredible partner in our community in terms of making sure that people get the health care that they need. And I've been very thankful to the support that they've provided to me. So I am going to continue raising money in this community and continue to help families and say yes when families need financial assistance to stay afloat while coping with cancer. And up there on the slide is a few of the ways that I will be accomplishing those goals. So I would love to answer any questions. Yes?
How does somebody in the system make contact with your organization?
Great. So I hear about families through social workers, oncology nurses, and oncology social workers. So they are the ones determining, kind of vetting if a family truly does have financial need, and then they put us in touch. Thank you. I saw another question.
That was exactly the question I wanted.
Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, Nate.
Have you thought about joining a Rotary Club?
Good. Thank you. It's very flattering. Yes. Yes.
What is the two-county double metric?
Oh yeah, thank you. So kind of one of the things I know about starting other businesses is that you can't, if you grow too big too fast, you end up with a whole host of problems. So I'm just layering something on each year or two things on each year. So the next thing we're adding is a partnership with the Capital Bicycling Club and Providence to raise more funds for the MayDay Foundation through a bike ride that they've been doing for a couple of years. So it's intended to be an STP training ride. So I am not a huge, I think you need to be really into cycling. But so it attracts people from all around Western Washington who are training for the STP. And that will be, so if you are a cyclist in here, be sure to mark your calendar for June 23rd. Yes?
I do have another question then. Since you're partnering with Providence, are you, and you mentioned Grace Harbor, Thurston and Grace Harbor counties, are you branching out to Lewis County and also up north with Providence?
Yeah.
Is that baby steps?
Yeah, baby steps. So the way that the bylaws are written are that families have, besides all the other, the qualifications of obviously having cancer and raising kids at home, you have to live in Thurston County or receive treatment in Thurston County. And then we've expanded that to Grace Harbor based on the needs of that community as well as donors in that community who specifically wanted to help families in Grace Harbor. And I think if any of you have spent any time in Grace Harbor, I'm born and raised there, you know that the needs in Grace Harbor are very extensive.
Well, I'm thinking Mason County is the same.
Yeah. So
they come here.
Right. Yeah. So Mason County comes here for radiation, and Lewis probably would be next, after that. So yeah, I expect it to, as we grow our footprint, it'll grow into these surrounding communities. But what's really important to me is that we're raising money locally to help local families, and I want it to retain that local feel. Yeah. Thank you. Other questions? Yes.
Can people give online if they wanted to give at a later date?
Yes, absolutely. So I have a lovely online donation form, and there's a lot of options for donating online. You can make monthly donations or one-time donations. You can make a donation in honor of someone or in memory of someone, and you can make donations in any dollar amount that is meaningful to you.
All right, let's hear it for Amy. Okay, Amy, don't go anywhere. One of the things that that Gateway does as far as honoring our guests and dedicating something to them is part of our literacy program. We present a book to Pleasant Glade Elementary School in a signed book by our guest speaker. So the book I picked today was Investigating Ice and Glaciers, because it seems cold out, and then as a New England, somebody grew up in New England, they're getting a lot of ice and snow out there, so I just was like, oh, I don't have to deal with that, and then I don't know why I picked it after that. But anyway, it's a good selection, but again, Amy, great presentation, and thank you very much. Thank you. Let's hear it again for Amy. Before I go into the rest of the program, I would like to at this point thank our online guests who are streaming with us for being here, and sign off to them. So thank you very much and goodbye. All right.